With all the changes in technology and the scary stuff that Mia's talking about, it can sometimes seem as if the outside world's got a greater influence over our kids than we do. Gone are the days where we can sit them down and say, listen, something terrible's happened in the world, because they'll probably know about it. They'll see about it first. It's not just sitting down to the news, which we can shield them from often when they're young. They'll hear about it, or their friends will hear about it, and they'll tell them all about it. So it is really hard to try and steer your kids gently through life as we might have been steered. And it's not just technology. There's more violence in TV and on film. There's the sexualisation of kids in music videos. There's the divorce rate's high, kids are drinking earlier, having sex earlier. It's pretty frightening. So it is hard to instill those traditional values, even though they haven't changed. We're still all believing in the same things that were taught to us from our parents or our favourite teacher or some leader of a faith or a sporting coach, something like that. It's still about integrity and honesty and compassion, hard work. It's still the same stuff. So we've just got to be pretty ingenious about how we can still do that steering. And when you have kids, it's really important to sit down, if you've got a partner, sit down together and decide what sort of values do we want to instill in our kids. Obviously, it's not in a lecture. It's not sitting them down saying, right, we're going to talk about values today. You just do it in an everyday way. Obviously, really young kids are taught to share. Preschool kids are talked about including everybody. You talk about compassion when you hear them criticising someone at school. And teenagers, of course, have got to learn about integrity and perseverance, all these things. So probably the one way that is the same as it's always been is in the family meals. This really, really treasured time is so valuable because that's when you can sit down. Every time you share opinions, every time you listen to each other, every time you reward them for making a good decision or they show compassion to their sibling or their friend, they're your ways to instill those values. The other way to instill these values is, as Mia's saying, use what they know. We have to stay relevant. So if they're with phones, if they're old enough, or with what TV shows you let them watch, what DVDs you let them watch. And not just, no, you can. I know I said not using too many words, that it is an opportunity to say why you don't want them to watch something. Or if they do see something, you're watching something together, to actually stop it and discuss whatever issue that came up for them. A lovely way, I think, that I've used with my kids is what I call the Francesca strategy. I've told my kids since they were very young that there was a girl I went to school with called Francesca, and she wasn't particularly smart, she wasn't particularly good at sport, she wasn't gorgeous looking, she was just plain looking like the rest of us. She wasn't anything special in the way that kids today might think would make them special, but she was a fabulous girl. She was somebody who, if there's someone new to the class, she wouldn't put her hand up to the teacher and say, oh, can I please be her buddy? Can I please look after her? She would just go and quietly keep an eye out and make sure she was never alone or he was never alone. And if somebody was upset, she wouldn't make it all dramatic and about her. She'd just very, very quietly make sure that child was okay. And heaven help anyone who bullied anyone in front of Francesca, because she would stick up for them, and not only that, she wouldn't be afraid. She'd go to the teachers and say, they're bullying that kid. Our kids think that we're just, fuddy-duddies. They don't believe we ever went to school. They don't believe we were ever kids. So if you tell... That's right. So if you tell them what we did, it doesn't seem to resonate with them. But if you tell them about some reason, if you tell them about someone else, they'll listen to that. And especially when I tell them that Francesca went on to be the most popular girl in school. Not because she was the pretty one or the smartest or the fastest, but because she just had fabulous values. And I've been doing this so often now that seriously my kids will still say, I had a Francesca moment today. Yes, I did. I helped that person out. And even my son will say, I was a Francesca on the train. They were really picking on this little kid and I went over there and told them to piss off. So it is different language, but it is really good. So I think if in doubt, in fact I did it. My daughter was having trouble with some friendship group last week, again, with a smile on my face, because it is a bit of a joke now. What would Francesca do? And never have they said, oh, she's just sounds like a pain in the arse, this Francesca. They love it. We have to let children do as we do, because they're not going to do as we say. I had this lecture at uni. We had this subject that taught health management, and so we had to get in groups and work out health plans, healthy eating and exercise and not drinking and smoking and all that sort of stuff. But the problem was our lecturer, who was also our tutor, was the most unhealthy man that I had met. He was very, very overweight and he reeked of smoke and he was a very heavy drinker. He'd get up there and lecture us. He'd say, hands up who went for a run this morning, because I ran 10Ks like I do every morning, and hands up who had a drink last night. And we'd all, no, and he'd say, no, good, because I was at home with my tea and I hope none of you are smoking. We can't teach our kids about honesty if they catch us lying. We can't teach them about compassion if we're judging other people, if we're just tooting everyone in the traffic and saying, this idiot. You know, they're not going to, we can't say you've got to be tolerant of each other, you know, because there's no face validity. We are their role models, so we need to, as I said, we need to walk the walk.